Today, we're talking about how to get closure after a breakup. But first, my name is Clay with ModernLove.life, where we help you get the great loving relationship that you're looking for without having to play mind games, without having to play hard to get, and without having to pretend to be someone or something that you are not. And if you like what we're doing here on this channel, please help me out by hitting that thumbs up button so that we can hopefully trigger the YouTube algorithm to start showing this video to other people that might benefit from it and help this channel grow and all that stuff. It just takes a moment of your time and it does help us out a lot. So if you do get value from these videos, please help me out by hitting that thumbs up button. All right, so this weekend, let me just take a step back. As you may or may not know, we just moved to a new house in a small town in Washington State, and we're heading back to our old place in the city, Seattle, this weekend to kind of do some last minute cleaning up and take all the final, little things with us, and then just, kind of like close up that Seattle chapter of our life in a nice little bow, and then we'll be like officially 100% here. No emotional sort of strings of connection to that other previous place. And because we're doing this, I'm thinking a lot about, closing chapters of your life and letting the past be complete. Now, I know that a lot of times people will come to this channel and find my videos because they're going through a breakup, and many of those people want to save their relationship and work things out with their partner. And whether or not that's you, or whether or not you are here for some other reason, or whether or not you're wanting to date someone new and start a new relationship, that is all something that it is important to do after you can kind of gain a sense of completeness and closure with the past. Even if you want to get back together with the same person and work things out, it's important to recognize that the past is the past. Whatever was in the past is complete. We're not trying to necessarily go back in time to revive some old relationships that we can just step back into it. Obviously, that's not a great idea because obviously the previous relationship didn't work for whatever reason. What we want to do is we want to be able to create something new, something that's different, something that we can intentionally step into, even if that's with the same person. So what we have to do is we have to gain a sense of completeness with the past, a sense of closure, if you will. Obviously people who are going through a breakup and want to move forward and date other people, it's a very common thing for people to want to find closure in some capacity or other. And closure isn't just something that you can get by finding your ex and talking to them and getting them to answer all of your questions about why they broke up, why they wanted to leave, why they weren't willing to work on things, why they did what they did, why they said what they said, why they didn't do what they didn't do, and all that stuff. Closure is actually something that comes from within you. It's not something that someone else can give you, because oftentimes people don't even know why they do what they do. Oftentimes their reasons for doing it have very little to do with you and more to do with their own intentions and their own agenda and getting their own needs met. And so closure isn't something that you want to necessarily go out of your way to find from someone else. Sure, if they're willing to engage in a conversation with you and you really just want to satisfy that curiosity, sure, you can go ahead and talk to them. But first and foremost, closure has to be something that comes from you. And that's how you choose to contextualize what happened or didn't happen between the two of you, okay? And so, we can look at a breakup that happened. Maybe there was a breakup that happened and you didn't see it coming. It's what we call blindside breakup. You were just sort of blindsided by this breakup out of nowhere. Everything seemed great and wonderful in your relationship. And then just one day out of the blue, hey, I think we should break up. You don't know what happened, right? It's understandable that you want to make sense about what happened in that situation, and you want to start to understand why whatever happened. However, that's not necessarily going to serve you. For example, if you're not able to actually communicate with your ex or with your partner who broke up with you out of the blue, it's not like they are withholding the closure. It's not like they're withholding the completeness of the relationship. What you can do instead is you can generate your own sense of closure, your own sense of completeness by looking at what happened and by saying, okay, what can I learn from this experience? what can I learn that I can carry with me as something beneficial moving forward that could benefit me in maybe my next relationship or maybe in some other area of my life. And what you can do is you can start to gain lessons even when you don't have this other person kind of telling you, well, yeah, this is what happened. This is why I did what I did. This is why I didn't do what I didn't do. But you can say, okay, maybe you broke up with me out of the blue, and that shows me that, okay, communication is actually something that's really more important to me than I thought it was. Maybe having a clear channel of communication, maybe being with a partner who communicates things clearly, maybe being with a partner who is able to cooperate with someone rather than just, making up their mind about something on their own and then just, boom, we're going to break up. You're not part of the conversation. You're not part of this dialogue here. And so that can be something that can help to inform you in terms of what you need to do moving forward and how you can start to see that. So it's like, okay, great, I had this relationship, it didn't work out. Maybe I don't even know the specific reasons why, but I do know that the person that ended this relationship out of the blue in this totally hypothetical situation did so because they were not good at communicating what they wanted. They were not willing to cooperate, and they just decided to act unilaterally. And maybe that's something that you need to start to evaluate whether that's what you want in a future relationship. Is that what you want in a partner? Probably not. You probably want to have a partner who is going to consider you and going to involve you in the conversation about whether or not there's something wrong with your relationship, whether or not there are concerns that they have, whether or not there are things that they're considering that aren't working in their relationship. You probably want to have a partner who is open to discussing these sorts of things with you. At least I could imagine that would be a good relationship success trait to have in place. So, that is an example of some degree of closure. It's like, okay, I thought they were this great, wonderful person, and I thought they were this kind, loving, compassionate person. I thought we had this great relationship, but because I didn't screen for someone who's willing to cooperate and someone who's willing to actually talk things out with me, I ended up in this situation where they left for whatever reason they might leave for. And, I've been in situations where there have been these unanswered relationship questions before in the past too, as well too. As you know, me and my big ex, who I broke up with and got back together a few different times, the final time that we did break up, when we realized we have different values and just parted ways, I think it was maybe about 2 months or so after we broke up, and we hadn't spoken since then, she started calling me and left several voice messages on my phone when I would not answer. And I never listened to the messages. I don't know what she said. I don't know if it was some, big emotional vent about how I'm a terrible person, or maybe she was trying to patch things up, or I don't know. But that's not necessarily something that I need to go sniffing around because it's inconsequential, right? We had different values. We want different things in life. Even if the two of us had the opportunity to work things out and get back together, it's not as if it would allow us to actually have a great relationship, because due to our different values, in order for us to be together, at least one of us has to be unhappy. And so, going back to our hypothetical situation where your partner breaks up with you out of the blue, if you want to have a relationship where with someone who's going to work cooperatively with you as a team, and this person is not willing to do that when they have concerns or something like that, then that might just be a disqualifier right there. Even if it was possible for you to understand why they broke up with you, understand why things didn't work out, understand why they chose to leave without really talking to you, even if it was possible, through their actions, they have demonstrated to you that they are probably someone who isn't necessarily willing to involve you in the conversation and have a sort of cooperative dialogue about something that apparently isn't working in your relationship. So even if it was possible for you to know all of this stuff or to work things out with them or something like that, is that really the kind of relationship that you want to be in? Again, I can't answer this question. Maybe it's okay for you. Maybe it's not okay for you. But this is an important piece of feedback to take from this experience and to use it as feedback for you moving forward. So again, the story that you create about your relationship or your breakup is something that has to come from you and how you're choosing to contextualize what's happening or what has happened between you and your partner or you and whatever happened in the past. And it's only through contextualizing that in a way where you can learn something from it, where you can kind of take something from it and use it to propel you forward in some capacity, that you can gain a sense of completeness with the past. You don't necessarily have to know everything. You don't have to know what was on those voice messages, or why someone never followed up with you after a great date, or whatever it might be. You don't necessarily need to know this, but if you can take a contextualized meaning from it that you choose, and then take that moving forward to help you make better decisions, that way you can start to create more space and gain closure with the past, so that you have the space to create something that you truly want in the future that isn't shrouded by all the heaviness or uncertainty or unresolved things from the past. And that is the value of becoming complete with your past. So anyway, with that being said, I hope you all have a great weekend. We're going to be heading back into the city to tidy up some things, and then I will be completely at closure with my time in Seattle, and I'll be here in our small little town by the sea full time, and hopefully be able to emotionally be more present here because I have that sense of closure with the past. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. If you do want to learn more about how to gain a sense of emotional freedom from your breakup, whether you are trying to get back together with your ex or trying to move on forward, we do have our course called The Compatibility Code, currently, though I'm heavily considering changing the name to Emotional Freedom. But you can find that down in the description box below. It can help you gain this sense of closure and completeness with your past, so that you can create a compelling future for yourself. Feel free to check it out if it's something you're interested in down below in the description box. But thank you so much for watching this video. If you like what we're doing, hit that thumbs up button. And if you want to learn more about how to get past a breakup, we do have this video series over here. Or you might want to check out this video right here. Thank you so much. Please take care. Have a great weekend, and I'll talk to you next time.